Well, I will tell you some songs, moments that I was proud of in writing, that I don't know if the people who listen to the songs are as moved by it as I am, but things that when I wrote this particular thing, I thought, I did good work. I felt like I did good work. Sometimes it can be something really, really simple. On the first Rainmakers record, there's one of the songs that we always play is Downstream. And it actually was somebody else's song. I kind of, I kind of stole. There was a band from a town near ours that had a great success in the 1970s, and they were called the Ozark Mountain Daredevils. They were some hillbilly guys who, some really good songs. Well, they had a song called Black Sky. There's a black sky walking. You know the words of it?
Yeah, sure. We're playing F sharp.
F sharp, yeah.
Well, I sure take it with me wherever I go, and you might like to see it, but it never does.
And the beat went like this. Keep singing.
Like a wind in the valley, it never does blow. Like the grass in the back, you never did know. It's a black sky falling on the ledge. It's a woman waiting, standing on the bridge. There's a price that you pay for walking on the ledge. It's everything you do and nothing but you do.
So, our bar band, back before there was Rainmakers, our bar band of Steve, Bob, and Rich, well, we wanted to play that song. We're playing cover songs. Well, it's got this boom, boom, pop, this slow beat, and so people would be like,
yeah,
you know, they couldn't quite dance to it. You know, it's like, well, it's a good song, but you can't quite dance to it. So I was the drummer in that band, as the trio, and I was the drummer, and I said, well, what if we just play the same chords, but we double up the beat? Suddenly people could dance to it. So we're playing it, and our guitar player at the time, Steve Phillips, he liked to play slide guitar. Well, the song is in F sharp, kind of an odd key. And for guitar players, playing in F sharp is a difficult key to play in.
Certainly
it
slide.
Yeah, slide where you're using open strings. He goes, well, I can't play the slide in that. And we said, well, what key can you play in? He goes, well, I can play in A. That's a better key to play a lead in. But he was singing the song. Steve was singing the song. He said, but that's too high to sing it. So Rich says, well, we will just sing the verses. There's a black sky walking on the ledge. And then when we get to the guitar solo, we'll just go up. Guitar solo will go back down. They might take it with you whenever we. So now we've taken this song and we've changed the beat and we've changed the guitar solo to a different key, and I love it. And I'm like, this is great. Screw those guys. This is our song now. But it needs new words, so I just went and wrote new words to it. It almost has. It has no melody. It's just da 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 da. You know, it's no melody. It's one note, pretty much. But that was a great lesson in taking someone else's song as a starting point and just letting it change. You know, the band wanted it to change between these two things. So now the song is a much better song than their song. Yeah. It's more exciting. Their song is a great song. Our song is a lot more fun. So I'm really proud of that song in that it just happened, you know. But and then the words, I thought, okay, well, I need some new words, and it all just kind of fell together. I thought, I will write about where we are from. I always go back to where we are from, and in Missouri, in the middle of the United States, we basically have three big famous people, you know. You have your Ibsen and your Monk, and we have Mark Twain and Harry Truman, World War II, and then Chuck Berry. You know, Chuck Berry invents rock and roll, really. So I thought, I'll put all three of those guys in the song, and the lyrics happened really fast.
That's great.
And I actually thought of that song as like a throwaway. This is just, you know, it was a joke. And I think maybe it may be one of the band's best songs because it's so simple. And things don't have to be complicated to be interesting. If you can make something really simple really interesting, that's even harder. And so I'm really proud of that song in that it took no work. It really didn't take any work. And it's like, that may be the best song you ever wrote. And you didn't even work very hard. So yeah, I'm very proud of that song. And it's got a good story behind it too.
That's good. The funny part being that when the Ozark Man of Daredevils, the band that Black Sky originally came from, now when they play Black Sky, it's about
yeah, they play it like down the street. They do. Another from that first album, the first Rainmakers record. I was writing a lot of songs at the time, and some of them were terrible. Some of them were just awful. And I knew it. And then sometimes there would be a song that I think would be really good, and I would bring it into the band, and the band would go, no, that's not very good. Oh, okay, you're right. Sometimes the whole band would think the song was good, and we would go out and play it for people. We played like 5 nights a week. We played all the time. And we would play it for people, and they were just like, you could tell it just didn't get any reaction from people. So there would be songs that we thought, gee, we thought that was a good song, and it didn't really work. Because we could just, every night we could go out and test the song. Does it work or does it not work? Well, they all sit down and look bored. It doesn't work. So
can you tell us something about the making of the song in the band? When you have an idea, I guess you have the melody and the lyrics and brings it with you at the rehearsals, and how does he do it? The beat and the drums and...
That's a sad story. You know, when we go out and play shows now, play concerts, and I will say, you know, we took a 13-year break, and then we decided one more time. We want to be in the band one more time, and then I introduced the song Given Time, which is about give me one more chance. You know, give me one more chance to do this right. Let me put my heart and my soul into it. I want one more chance to do this right. Which is a very big reason why the Rainmakers are playing together again. Because when the Rainmakers stopped playing in 1990, I'd just gotten divorced. I had wanted to play in a band and make records my entire life. That was all I ever wanted to do. And I got to do it, and I was miserable. I hated it. And I thought, no, this can't be. This has been my dream. Why am I not happy? And so I had to do a lot of rebuilding of my life in the 1990s. I didn't have drug problems or anything like that. I was a very healthy guy. I just wasn't happy. And I thought, this is a sick joke. I'm playing in a rock and roll band that's a great rock and roll band. Why am I not happy? So I tell the band, I'm quitting, I can't do this anymore. Slightly beating Pat to the punch, who was coming to the band to say, I can't do this anymore. This is too exhausting. It's not enjoyable. So starting in 1990, I have a family. I remarry to the love of my life. I connect more with my family. I connect more with my community. I do things for people, not expecting something in return. I try to become a better person. And I think I learned so much after I turned 40. I finally started learning things about just being a happier person and being a better person. Well, then the opportunity for the band to play together again. Our children are grown. We have some time. We're still healthy enough. I really wanted to do the band right. And one of the things that did not go well in the Rainmakers was I was a control freak. I wanted to control everything. So I would do these demos of the songs, and I would work out every single drum part, and I would work out every single rhythm change, and then I would just give the guys tapes and say, here, learn these. And because I knew exactly how I wanted it to go. And I realized that was a big mistake. part of making music is letting everyone have their input. Don't be a control freak. Don't be a god. Don't assume that you know more than anyone else. Try to open the doors to everyone feeling like they can contribute. And when they do, let them know, you know, tell people that how much you love playing with them, you know. And Jeff and I, we're two big crybabies. We're always being moved by the moment. But playing music with my friends after all these years, and Jeff and I have been playing together for 10 years now. It was great that Jeff could join the band because it's kind of like all the parts fit together.
Yeah,
and to play with Pat again, and to play with Rich again, even though he doesn't even live in the same town. When we got together to record Given Time, I had recorded all the songs and sent them to the guys, but just me strumming on the guitar. And I thought, that's all I want, just the basic chords and the words and the melody, and then let's get together and build these songs. And that was absolutely the most fun recording session we've ever had in our life. We're in Pat's living room. His drums are set up in the dining room. We can see each other, and for 1 week, every single day, we just get together and we're going to record another song today. We tried to do 2 songs every day, and we wouldn't even know the song. I take that back. Jeff wouldn't even know the song.
And that wasn't a matter of. There was a little bit of laziness involved, but also there's something I like, the spontaneity of doing it, and I didn't want to have a preconceived notion because I didn't know exactly how we were going to record the songs. And truth be told, and I've taken some grief about this, the songs of the Rainmakers. There's still some Rainmaker songs off those records that I'm playing with the band on stage. I've never heard the Rainmakers recording of that. You know, Bob and I have been playing them as a duo or as a trio with a good friend of ours sometimes, and I have just learned those when Bob and I first got together.
Which has helped those songs come back to life.
Yeah,
Jeff doesn't know the recording.
I don't know what Steve played. I don't want to know what Steve played on those. I'm approaching these because. I mean, some of them, a couple you said, learn this one like a cover song. Obviously,
there's a few.
There's a few things.
Talk with my hands.
Talk with my hands. But anyway, so it wasn't that when I got the recording session, it wasn't that I didn't care about learning the songs. It's just I really wanted to come in as a blank canvas and see. And we would record rhythm. When we say we record a song a day, we would record just the rhythm part.
But that was pretty much the whole song.
The basic track. Well, but then when we came back into that.
But getting back to your question,
it's pretty
that's been one of the most important things that I've learned is that the way we learned the songs in the band in the 1980s and 90s was not the best way. I should not try to think of everyone's part, and it took me a long time to learn that, but I did, and I am so proud of 25 On as a good record. It's a good, solid record, and the memories of making that record are like some of the happiest memories of we're ever.
It was fun. It was really fun.
It was a great time, and I think you hear that fun in the recordings. I think you hear, God, these guys are having a great time again. And unfortunately, in the 1980s, when our recording career started, was when every producer decided drummers out, drum machines. So it didn't matter if you were a blues band or a rock band or a folk band, everybody were going to use drum machines. And so our albums were built around drum machines, which I can't even listen to them now, but I know those recordings are near and dear to a lot of people, but that was a difficult thing for us as a band to work together, because between myself being a control freak and then working with producers who were control freaks, and then having a record company looking over your shoulder who wanted to make sure everything went right. We actually had a very good relationship with our record company, but they're spending a lot of money and they want to make sure things go right. It becomes very hard for the band to becomes very hard for the band to have fun when you have that much control coming from everyone, and from your singer too. So I've learned over the years to trust other people invite other people's input,